Go ahead.
You know, Johnny,
What?
you're the first person that taught me how to sip wine.
Really?
How to swirl it and the whole deal.
Well, that's the deal,
you,
yeah.
You put the passion in.
And you see, when I teach somebody, it lasts forever.
That's true. I've never. It's like riding a bicycle.
That's right.
Well, let's take a walk forever.
All
here.
right,
We'll take a
let's
little
do
walk
it.
on the
Yeah.
sand. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't this kind of like being in Tuscany, Italy, or
It is. Yeah.
maybe the Rhone Valley in France?
Yeah.
You know, because
And I
Temecula.
feel even more Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Just being around the grapes.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
Feel these grapes.
Oh, I love them.
These are Cabernet.
Oh,
Look at this.
I love them.
Smaller than your fingernail.
Mm.
Isn't that beautiful? Let's taste them. You know, they're going to have some.
I'm going to try this one right here.
Let's see. The seeds are starting to turn brown. I think they're ripe and ready to go.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, something? If you were the winemaker,
Sweet as can be.
is there enough flavor yet? Would you let these hang a
No,
little
no, that
longer?
flavor, well,
Maybe
could-
wait till
yeah,
this weekend?
Another week, yeah.
They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Don't eat the skins, though. Watch that.
Well, the cab grapes are a little smaller, so they have a lot of tannins in the skin. That's true. Now, a
right.
Zinfandel grape, they're bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, more flesh.
Yeah.
But these make great wine.
Well, they do.
Cabernet
Absolutely.
Sauvignon.
Absolutely.
When I'm alone or I'm with someone. Uncle
Hey,
Giovanni.
look at that beautiful view.
yeah.
Turn around and point it over there.
That's Palomar Mountain.
Isn't
Out
that
in the distance
gorgeous?
here from Leoness Cellars.
Is that some kind of a church?
Well, it looks like it, but no, that's a weather vane on top of that house.
A weather vane.
The owners live there. No,
Oh,
they
wow.
don't. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
The owners live in Marietta.
Oh,
When are we going to get our own winery, Johnny?
well, I'm fixing to get one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Uncle Giovanni, it's sure good to be with you tonight.
Well, it's a real pleasure from my point of view.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you
Real
keep your
pleasure.
you keep your point sharp.
Yep.
Yeah. And one good way to do it is to have a little wine now
A
and
little
then.
wine, yeah.
Maybe it'll-
Keeps me sharper.
I remember when I was about 18 or 19, you visited Nashville where I was living and singing, and you
Really?
took me out to an Italian restaurant and got me a Beringer White Merlot.
Did I?
You sure did, and you showed me how to sniff it,
Yeah.
and smell the bouquet, and slurp it,
Yeah. Yeah.
backwards whistle,
Yeah.
you know, and really
Did
get
the
all
whole
those
thing,
flavors.
huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But you know,
Boy.
there's a lot of people that, you know, like if you go to a Starbucks coffee and you don't know anything about coffee, you don't know what to order.
That's
And it's
right.
the same with wine. You know, some people go to a winery and they're intimidated.
That's right. They are.
They don't know what in the world to order.
They do not.
So what kind
And
of
they're threatened, you know. They think, what if I order something I can't stand?
well, yeah,
You know.
make their
You
mouth
gotta-
dry and pucker. You know.
Yeah, and some wines will do that. See, got to know what you're ordering.
Yeah. So how do you help someone that's new to wine to understand how to enjoy it
Well,
and not be so intimidated by wine?
yeah. Well, the first thing to enjoy a good wine is to take a small amount.
Yeah.
Don't have a glass full. Not going to do you any good. Have a small amount, and then sniff it, and get the real feel of it, and you have to hold it on your tongue and swirl it around in your mouth. That way you get all of the flavors throughout, and you can pick you can tell whether this is something that you're going to enjoy or not. If it's a bad wine, I mean, for you, not necessarily the wine is bad, but it's the wrong wine for you to be drinking. You're not going to enjoy it, and you're going to start doing this.
Yeah.
See?
Like a dark,
And-
deep, dark roasted coffee. Some people wouldn't.
That's right.
Oh.
Exactly. And if that's the feeling you get on that first taste, you say, well, I don't want any more of this. But you see, that's why you start out with a small amount.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's good, like this is very good.
This is a Syrah from Temecula, California. Mm-hmm. I see you've got Leoness glass even. Look at that, Leoness Cellars from Temecula.
Yeah, see, this is good. You can swirl this around in your mouth. I can, anyway. And I can enjoy the way it feels. And I don't want to swallow it right away. I want to keep it there and keep the flavor going and everything. And then even after it's gone, what's left on my tongue still feels good, tastes good.
So would you say it's a sensuous experience?
Oh, definitely.
All senses are engaged, huh?
Yes,
What is it?
definitely.
Well, it's like having cereal, and if you've got a little crunch to it, it gives you some texture and it feels good in your mouth. But if it's soggy, it's not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So when
true.
you're drinking
Yeah.
wine, you get the feel. It's maybe silky in your palate.
It really is.
And it
That's
has bursts
right.
of flavor, maybe different fruit that you might taste. And this is a Syrah. It's got a little pepper even and spice, doesn't it?
It is. This is a very full-bodied wine also. The one we had the other night was more mellow. Do you remember that?
Yes, it was.
It was more mellow.
It was a Super Tuscan with some Italian varietals in it, and it was a little
Uh-huh.
fruitier and lighter.
That's right.
Had a little Merlot, so it has some tannic structure. But this one's
But
just
this one
full.
is full, really
Yeah.
solid, you know.
Yeah.
It's a solid wine, and so if you like it, you can enjoy it, and you know,
Some people-
different wines have different flavors. Yeah,
And you and I can drink this on its own.
yeah,
John Wayne could too.
yeah.
but some people would need food with this
Yes,
to
they
really
would.
enjoy
Well, they
it.
wouldn't even like they would take that first sip like I'm doing,
Right.
and they would say, "Oh no, I don't."
yeah.
They'd set it in front of them on the table, and that'd be the end of it. See,
That's
they
right.
wouldn't pick it up again.
That's right.
You ever noticed that
Oh,
at
yeah.
a dinner?
Yes.
Yeah,
they
people they taste a bad wine, a wine that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad to them,
Yes.
and boy, it just sits there.
So in review, start with just a little sip, and if it's not for you, or
Yes.
you don't have the food to enjoy it with, set
That's
it down
right,
and try
that's
something
right.
else.
Try something else.
Because you want it to be a sensuous experience. And really enjoy it.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're not enjoying this, and feeling the kind of the thrill of it,
Right.
don't drink it. Don't drink it.
Yeah.
Just put it back and get another one. Order a different bottle.
So enjoy wine, enjoy your relationships, sunsets. Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah, this. See, well, I don't know. I haven't had an immense amount of experience with wines, but I could sit and drink this all evening.
Oh,
I
good.
really could, yeah,
Good.
without food.
So let's look out there at our friends. and
Yes, yeah.
Enjoy
So
yourself.
enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
Pick a
Enjoy
good-
relationships.
That's right.
Yeah. If it's friends and family you have a hard time being around, either learn how to appreciate and work with them, or just don't spend as much time.
Yeah.
No. No.
Have a little sip and
Yeah.
Oh, I'm late for
Okay. So
an
enjoy.
appointment. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Hello, friends. It's time for Wine Tips with Uncle Giovanni. And today our focus is slowing down and enjoying conversations. Slowing down and enjoying wine and food. And a good way is having a little wine, because it reminds you to slow down in this fast-paced world, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Wine is it's not just a drink. It's a fruit, and it's a stimulant. It's something that you should select carefully, according to your taste buds, that they'll go together. If you try to force yourself to drink a wine just because somebody poured it for you, and it's not fitting your taste buds, you're going to have a sort of a miserable evening, I can tell you.
Oh, it wouldn't be a good conversation.
No, that's right.
With your wine or your guests.
That's right. So you select a wine like this, which, in my opinion, this is a wine that you definitely want to have a little food with, something to chew on.
Now, you mentioned earlier if you had some cheese with that,
Yes.
the cheese and the wine would even have
Yes.
a little conversation, right? In your
They would. You take a nice camembert or a really good Swiss cheese with this, a very dry Swiss with a real snap to it, you know. And the wine and the cheese then would talk to each other, because this wine wouldn't smother that good cheese, but the cheese would stand up to this wine.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
so you've got two flavors going in your mouth that both make you feel good, and it's an excellent pairing of two, a wine and a cheese. Definitely.
I love that. So if anyone out there listening, if you're not sure what to pair with your wine, or you're having a hard time slowing down in this fast-paced world, just give Giovanni a call.
Right, give me a call.
Yeah.
Send me some of the wine so that I'll know what I'm talking about.
There you go. That's a fair trade.
That's right.
So, Johnny, what does it take to be a pro, to reach that level and stay consistent as a professional?
Well, it takes a ton of regular practice. You can't have done it one time and then in 10 years come back and try and do it again. You cannot. You have to keep up practicing what you're really good at. My father did all kinds of things on roller skates. You would think he was floating on air, not really with the roller skates touching the floor. And when he sat on the Empire State Building when they were building it, he skated on a little 8x8 platform on the top of the Empire State Building. And they photographed him for the Movietone News, and it played in theaters, and it was a kick. My dad said he was in a theater watching it, and these two ladies were watching him on the screen, and they said, "That's impossible. A person can't do that." and he got a big kick out of them, you know, not recognizing. See, when you're a professional, you do it so effortlessly. Whatever it is you do, whether it's singing or dancing or like him roller skating, people that don't, roller skating is unusual because it's not like dancing or singing, because a lot of people do that. But roller skating, not many people do, and they can't imagine that you can roller skate like you're floating, you know, like you're you're not even on roller skates. But so any professional of any nature has to be in tune all the time. They have to practice regularly, or they won't do a performance to the best they can do it. Have to practice all the time.
Okay. Johnny, in a somewhat self-centered world, what's helped you to stay in love all these years and grow love all these years?
Well, I think it's having a realistic feeling and picture of yourself, and not blowing yourself up, not degrading yourself at all, but just having a realistic attitude and discussions in all cases, you know, with others, and just be natural and calm. I don't get excited too much about anything. Just kind of Take it a little bit at a time.
Johnny, if you could list just one important skill that has helped you to earn a living for your family all these years, what would just one of the most important skills be?
Well, I've never had much training in any particular, type of work or anything like that. I've always just been mostly a salesman. And I think the most important thing is to consider the people you're working with or talking to or training or whatever, taking instructions from them or whatever, and just keep yourself on an even keel. And I never think too much of myself, and I don't really think too little of myself either. I mean, I have to muster all I can get usually, but it just being natural. I think that's the key, being natural. I don't try to put on anything or certainly can't take off anything. Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone. You know, Johnny, everyone's in sales. We're going to talk about sales here for a minute. Like parents, grandparents, we're selling children on things they need to do, right?
That's right. Right.
Oh, Brooklyn's selling something here. But Johnny, what has helped you to be a top salesperson in life with your career?
Well, I think you have to be as natural as you possibly can, because you don't come across, like you're putting on an act or you're telling a story. You're just speaking from your heart and your brain, and you're being natural, and then people, they can grasp what you're saying if you're fairly articulate, and they can see the genuineness of what you're saying.
Yes. And excuse me one second, Johnny.
Yeah.
Jordan and Brooklyn, what would you say if you were going to sell cookies on a street corner? You had a little cookie stand. How would you sell cookies to the neighbors coming by? What would you do?
I would entertain them and say they're free.
Entertain them.
And say they're free.
Give some complimentary
You can
ones.
only give $1.
Yeah. Does that sound
Just
good,
$1.
Johnny?
Yeah.
$1. 10.
Oh.
You have to give everybody a little space.
$1.
Yeah, give them $1. There it is. Sure is great to be with you this morning, Uncle Johnny.
It's good.
You know, you've
Good day
always
outside.
you've always been a great salesperson. Not a salesman like a car salesman, but a salesperson because you love people.
Yeah.
What's been one or two of your secrets that's helped you in sales all of your life?
Well, the primary one is honesty. You have to, when you're selling something, you have to be honest about what you're talking about, the product, and you can romance it a little bit, but you can't overstate what the capabilities of it are. And so honesty is very important. And then having people try it if it's something you can hold in your hand. Now if you're selling a house or a parcel of land or something like that, you have to talk about it and where it is and why it's valuable to be there, and how it's a good piece of land and it's going to fit their needs. I've never tried to oversell anything, but I've tried to give people as clear a picture of exactly what the product is and what it will do. And don't stretch it and don't exaggerate it. You got to be truthful.
What's helped you to remain so generous and hospitable all these years?
Well, I don't know as I am so generous and hospitable, but I think having a proper estimation of yourself, know who you are, and how you can help others. I think you get a much greater reward as an individual by helping others, explaining things to them, teaching them things, or telling them about a product and the benefits of it and what it would do for them. And then when they have a proper estimation of that, then they have confidence and they're going to benefit from it. You can't be a salesman yet. In other words, a lot of salesmen are just talk, and they're very flamboyant and excited and so forth. And yet, when you get the product, you find out that they were blowing a little bit, and it's not exactly what they said it was. So you have to be honest and accurate and truthful, and tell them just what it is and what it'll do for them. And if that doesn't sell them on it, and if it's not a benefit to them, then you've done them a favor. Okay.
Hello, friends. I'm always out there interviewing people, and I'm going to put myself on the spot and let Uncle Giovanni ask me a question now. We'll see what happens.
Well, Joel, I've known you for a lot of years, and I've been very interested I know you're an entertainer, and you make people happy with your voice and your playing and so forth. What kind of a inward feeling does it give you to be up in front of a crowd and performing like you do?
That's very easy, Johnny. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, my grandparents took us on a Sunday drive, and we went to this Basque restaurant in Central California, somewhere around Yuba City. We went in and we ate, and there was a man playing an accordion. And I just loved it, and all these people were sitting around enjoying their meal, and I was, like I say, about 7, maybe 6. My sister was about 4, and it just naturally hit me, I should grab my sister and dance while this man's playing accordion, and it'll entertain all these people in here. It was just a natural thought, see, because we're all born with something, and I think entertainment was one of my gifts. We started dancing, and we smiled while we danced. And I looked around at the audience, and everybody was delighted. I saw the delight, like, oh, look at these little kids dancing. Right. And it was just a natural thing. It wasn't to be important. It was to bring a smile to other people's faces.
But it did give you that good feeling.
And it did make me feel good, yes.
That's right.
And from then on, there's an entertainer now, my little boy. And from that moment forward, I always loved, and my grandpa gave me great advice. He says, Joel, when you're performing, make sure that people's toes are tapping. Make sure that they're swaying or they're smiling, because if you're not moving your audience, you're not doing your job.
That's right.
One time he said, when's the last time you had a standing ovation? I says, well, I haven't in a long time. He says, well, maybe you're not doing the right songs.
Well.
But that's where it comes from, is it's a natural gift, and then wanting to make other people feel good, really.
Yeah, I think an entertainer, if they're too stuck on themselves, and how am I coming across, they're not going to be as natural, and they're not going to be as good. But if an entertainer will entertain people for the joy of entertaining people, they'll be more professional. They'll come across better. The crowd will love them more because they'll form a connection. Don't you think?
Oh, yes. And it just like you're speaking from the heart. When you're singing from the heart, and it's something that means something to you, then it's more apt to go into the heart of that listener.
That's
and
true.
They can feel what you're feeling.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've been in sales all my life. Sold all kinds of things. But selling is kind of like entertaining. You're not you're not putting on a show so much. You're telling people the truth about the product and so forth, what it'll do for them. But if you put your heart into it, and you want them to understand what the product will do for them, why it's good and why you're offering it to them, then you'll be able to draw them in, and they'll buy it. They'll buy it.
Yeah. I'll buy that.
So that's
I hope the audience will buy it.
that's sales. Yeah. And so as an entertainer, you're selling yourself too, aren't you?
Yes. Selling the song.
Buy
Yeah,
Selling the comedy.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
very
like you
good.
said, keep it sincere and sell what's real. Sell
Yeah.
it from the heart.
That's right.